Indeed.
But let's get into our next conversation.
Yeah, it's about a bird that is facing extinction in Kenya, the crane. The crane is an endangered species. Now, our guest is Adan Kabelo. He is a wetlands conservationist. He works with an organization that deals with just conserving the wetlands in this country.
Yeah.
And these cranes are found in these wetlands. Now, he will take us through this education of the crane, the importance of the crane, the cultural connection with the crane, and why it's facing extinction. Adan, good morning.
Good morning, and how are you?
It's very well, thank you. Asante sana for joining us.
Yeah.
You have a lot of information to share with us, and we are looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But first, before we begin a conversation, we usually welcome our guest with the day's quote. So Mariam is going to give you a quote. Some words were said by somebody some time ago.
Okay.
And then you are going to tell us what you think about that, whether it makes sense to you, whether it doesn't make sense. If it does, tell us how. If it doesn't, tell us why.
All right, today's quote comes from a gentleman called Joel A. Barker. He is a futurist often cited in African leadership and policy forums. So he said this in the 1990s, and he was quoted as saying, "Vision without action is merely a dream. Vision without action is merely a dream."
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what's a vision? Vision is a dream. Then if your dream, you have to wake up from that dream to take it into an action.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll continue sleeping and dreaming.
Yeah.
And then you'll wake up when things are gone.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, so that's very true.
You've got to take
And
action.
that's why we are talking about this bird, you know? You know, yeah.
It's very true. When
Yeah.
we think of how we are dreamers, or we,
Yeah.
we all call ourselves dreamers,
Yeah.
but essentially everyone can have a dream.
Yes.
It's the difference is made by who actually actions it versus
Can
who
you wake
de-
up from that dream?
Yes, can you wake up from that dream?
Yes.
I quite like that.
Yeah.
Let's wake up from the dreams.
Wake up from the dream.
Let's wake up from the
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah.
Now, Adan, we are here to talk about the crane.
Yes.
So in Uganda, we know the crane is a big bird. We see it, in their national flag. Their national teams are called the Cranes. The football
Yeah.
team is called the Cranes.
Yeah.
Then we hear that we have cranes in Kenya.
Yes.
There are some people who know the crane, others who don't know the crane.
Yeah.
Please, just describe the crane bird.
Well, it's not only in Uganda that it is on the flag. If you see the city council
Of
of
Nairobi.
Nairobi, yeah, the emblem is the crane. And there are many other organizations which actually have the crane as its emblem. This bird, the crane, there are about 15 types of cranes in the world. 15 varieties, 15 species. In Africa, there are few. In East Africa, we have only the gray crown crested crane. This bird is a very unique species of animals that you'll be interested to know how it impacts on different things.
Yeah.
As an organization, we work with this bird, not looking at the bird itself, but the bird is a thermometer for many things. This bird tells you a lot of things. When we look at the crane lives around the wetlands. That's its habitat. So when the crane disappears, it is not the crane that has disappeared. It is our wetlands that has disappeared because it has lost habitat. And when the wetlands disappear, what does it mean? It means our water system. It means our livelihoods as human beings are threatened. So this bird is just an indicator of many things in the environment.
Right.
And if we don't fix this environment, the environment will fix us. And the indicator for us to know that our environment is going is this bird.
Where?
This bird, we're talking about a population of birds now listed as endangered species in the IUCN list. IUCN is an international organization that scientifically assesses all species and marks them as endangered. And they have listed the crane as an endangered animal, endangered bird, meaning that they are going to go extinct soon if we don't do anything about it. If we don't do anything about it, like in the 80s, we had about, in Kenya, about 35,000. The census that was done in 1985 were about 35,000 in numbers of cranes in this country. Today we have less than 8,000.
Whoa.
40 years.
In 40 years?
Yes, we have less than 8,000.
We have dropped from?
It's 70,000, it's 70% loss.
35,000 to 8,000.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, you know, it may not worry people because they don't know what is the significance of
Of
this.
a crane, yeah.
But this is an indicator of many other losses that we are going through. And the losses of the environment that we are going through. Loss of environment. We are losing wetlands. That's the message it's telling us.
Let's start with what wetlands are cranes found in Kenya, or were they indigenously found in as far back as the 80s or whenever we started keeping records?
Yeah. You know, this is a very cultural bird. Actually, in Rift Valley, some communities believe that it is the crane that brings children. So they were telling us the other day, you know, nowadays we don't have many children because the cranes are gone. You know, that's how attached they are.
What's the connection?
Attached, yeah?
What's the connection between?
It's just cultural belief that this is their, you know, in many Kalenjin communities, this is their totem. They believe that this bird brings
fertility
blessings,
or
fertility, blessings, and so forth. So when they lose this bird, they feel part of their culture is gone.
Right.
And soon we'll see children who have grown up in places where they say, what's a crested crane? What's a crane? They have no idea what it is about.
Yeah.
That's the danger we're facing. And
so again, just before we lose track, in what area of Kenya are cranes endemic?
They're found around wetlands. And wetlands are, you know, those areas where we have water towers, you know, where we have, like, Uasin Gishu is one of the counties in Kenya with the largest amount of numbers of cranes today. Trans Nzoia, Nandi, around the lake region of Lake Victoria, Kisumu, Homa Bay, in part of around Lake Olbolsat in Nyandarua, Lake Kipia, you know, those areas where we have wetlands. I mean, the correlation between wetlands and cranes, we're losing cranes at a rate of 70% decline. We're losing wetlands at a rate of 80% decline. You know, but what is a wetland?
Yes, it's a good...
What's a wetland? I'm asking you, can you live without a kidney?
Without a kidney?
No.
Yes.
Well...
That
Nope.
That is the kidney of the earth. Wetlands is what kidney is to you, to the earth.
So inatoa uchafu, in a filter.
Ina purify maji, ina purify mwili yako. So the wetland protects a lot of things. It purifies water. It does a lot of the cleaning that is done in your system is done on earth by the wetlands.
Adan.
That's what we're losing.
Let's define a wetland.
Yes.
Is a wetland a swamp?
It is.
A swamp is a wetland a swamp, or is a swamp a wetland?
It is.
That's not one or the
you
other.
know, wetlands can
Because
be.
what's a wetland really?
Wetland is a place where you can get water, you know, springs, you know, water throughout the year, you know.
Okay.
Some of them are seasonal. Not all of them are permanent. Some of them are seasonal. Some of them are permanent sources of water. So this is where we get our waters, you know, catchments, you know. So it's a swamp. And some of these swamps, you know very well, they're gone. From my home, for instance, we have I'm sure you have all heard about the Lorian swamp in northern Kenya. It's not existing today because it's gone. And people don't relate it to, you know, to loss of environment. You know, how do we ensure that had we protected that swamp, today we would not have been talking about water crisis in northern Kenya always, because that would have been a reservoir for water.
Okay.
You know?
Let's use the example of the Lorian Swamp.
Yeah.
So if my school years remind me, the Lorian Swamp was as a result of a very big river.
Yes,
called the Wasonyiro River.
Yes.
Which goes and then it disappears. The river goes, gets to the Lorian Swamp, and then no more river.
Yes.
Until Sweden and Natokea Somali or something like that. So when you say it has disappeared,
Yes.
and yet the river has not disappeared, what do you mean?
The river has disappeared.
Where's
Where's the river? Yes. Where's the river? Look, today I was actually talking to a place called Merti, where this river, they depend on this river. They have not seen water from this river for the last how many months? Because we have lost the water tower that feeds this river. So the rivers that do not reach those places anymore. So the upstream is completely gone. I mean, it's completely exploited. It's, you know, we have lost water upstream. If we don't get water upstream, downstream, you can't get river flowing. So for people of Isiolo and Wajir, those sides, if it rains in Abadeas, then even if it doesn't rain in those places, they will get water through that river. But if there's no rain even in Abadeas, because we have tampered with all the water towers, then we're losing the river downstream. It doesn't reach there anymore.
So let me just get Ewasonyiro River is disappearing.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
So it's
Was it a permanent river?
Yes. It's a permanent
And now
river.
you're saying that it is no longer permanent.
It isn't.
It is seasonal.
Go to Merti, go to Sericho, you know, in Isiolo South where they are boating today.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is water. And their main source of water has been this river. But this river is now dry.
Okay.
Yes.
And then as a result, the huge Lorian Swamp
Yes, it's gone.
is then of course now dry.
It's no longer.
And if there were birds and all other species that were depending on this swamp,
All the flora and the fauna
all flora and fauna also
disappear. So,
walk me
it's
through.
okay.
Like wetlands in Kenya.
Yeah.
Ewasonyiro and Lorian are one. Where else were cranes indigenous, or are cranes indigenous, and the population is also declining? Where else in the country?
We're now concentrating on the Rift Valley, where they have a lot of wetlands, like the Saiwa River, the Kingwal in Nandi County, and even around the River Yala. And we have a lot of, a number of cranes out there. The disappearance of these wetlands is not only the only reason why cranes are disappearing. There is a lot of interference from human beings with the wetlands. People treat wetlands as wasteland. You know, it's just a land of waste. So if you can recover it by building or exploiting it or farming it, then you are reclaiming the wasteland.
Right.
You know, people don't see it as a livelihood. People see it as a space to be exploited, to build. So there's a lot of encroachment in most of these wetlands that we are seeing in the Rift Valley. Rift Valley is one of the major water towers in this country, and we are a lot of wetlands there.
Is it for human settlement, or is it for industry? Is it, or it's mostly settlement and farming, I'm assuming?
It is farming, it is settlement, it is, even things like, pollution. You emit a lot of pollution there, you wash your cars there. If you go to the lake, for instance, you'd see a huge part of the lake front there, the car wash. Directly emitting that into the water. This is what's happening in most of the wetlands also. So there's a lot of encroachment, and people don't value. People even fence the wetlands. When you fence the wetlands, like a crane, it requires space to fly. You know, it's a big bird. It doesn't just fly immediately.
It's like a plane.
It has to have a runway.
Oh, like in a takeoff, like.
Yeah, it has to have a runway.
Okay.
So when you fence it, then it can't even fly. So it can't even go there. So
Okay.
now the other threat is, you know, most of these animals, the endangered animals, including the crane, they don't live in protected areas. The government has, you know, has protected the wetlands, has protected the game parks, has protected, you know, certain areas. These species, like the cranes, 90% of them do not live in those protected areas.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's not their
Their natural habitat.
Their natural habitat.
Wait. You just told us that the natural habitat of a crane
Yes.
is a
a
wetland.
wetland.
Yes.
Wetlands are protected areas.
Yeah.
But then,
But they feed, you know, they breed there.
Okay.
They breed in the wetlands, but they feed in the larger
I see.
farms. For instance, in the Rift Valley, one of the biggest threat is from the large farms, you know, the wheat farms. They eat wheat, you know, they eat this shit.
So they're seen as a pest?
They're seen as a pest, correct.
Okay.
They're seen as a pest. So we have cases of poisoning,
Okay.
you know, to protect them. We have, you know, so how do you protect them outside the protected area? And that's where we think, as an organization, that awareness of the community, the role of the community is very critical in protecting these species.
Bird.
Yes.
Before we even go
Yeah.
further, okay,
Yeah.
we just have a few minutes to the break. I want to understand what role they play in the ecosystem. Because usually people, when they say, oh, the crane is going extinct, it's like, okay, it's a pretty bird, but what does it serve? So paint a picture for me.
Yeah.
The crane goes extinct.
Yes.
What follows?
The crane extinction means it has lost its habitat. That's the wetlands. That's where it breeds.
Right.
It breeds inside the wetlands. So people have interfered with these wetlands. It has disappeared because of that disturbance. So what does it mean? It means people have interfered with the water system in their own environment. It means people have, we lose water there. The springs that we used to have will no longer have it. So it means that people will have to walk long distance. Like in Nandi County, where we have protected springs, one spring, people walk 20 kilometers, to fetch water from there, around 20 kilometers radius. So once that disappears, it means people have to walk for longer distance to get water. It means that we will have less food. We'll have people dropping out of schools because children in some schools are told to bring water in the morning. Where do they bring this water from? They have to walk to these wetlands. And if the wetland dries, then where will they get this water from? So schools are threatened. Women, are threatened in terms of their because they'll take long hours to fetch water. So health of the people are at a threat because we can't go to hygiene without water.
So the bird is actually, like what you said, it's a thermometer. It's an indicator.
Yes.
The presence of the bird indicates a healthy wetland.
A healthy environment, a healthy wetland.
Okay.
Correct.
And the absence of the bird then therefore indicates to us that our wetlands are gone.
Yes.
Our sources of water are gone.
Yeah.
Our kidney is gone.
Yes.
Okay.
In just a minute, in this they say usipoziba ufa in Swahili utajenga ukuta. Sasa the problem here is you will not be there kujenga ukuta. So if you don't fix it now, you'll be fixed.
So hapa shida inaanza kwa ukuta ianze na ufa.
Kuna ufa kuziba. That would be the question actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
We come back. I'd like to understand more about the bird.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we say it's breeds in these wetlands, it feeds elsewhere in our farms.
Yes.
There's some communities that consider it a totem.
Yes.
When they see the bird, they say we have children because this bird brings children.
Yeah.
I'd like to understand more about the bird itself.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it seems that it has a lot of stories. 27 minutes after 7, Adan Kabelo is a conservationist. He is here to talk about wetlands conservation and the endangered bird called the crane. This is actually the bird on the flag of the Nairobi City County government.
It is now that,
actually now that we tell us about it. Yes, we've seen it in all these places. We'll be back shortly, and if you've got any question, you can ask Adan Kabelo on YouTube and Facebook and X. Do you know the crane bird? What's the crane called in your local community, in your local language? Collins Kimtai Kipsat says, the crane, we call it kingonyot in our mother tongue. Kongonyot in our mother tongue. Christine Bosire is watching from Isecha, Manga Isecha, Kisii County. Please tell us what it's called in Kisii. Pauline Shiro, it's Thursday. Good morning. Fixers have a good one. We also have some feedback on Facebook. Elisha Okola says he's watching from Kipsitet. Khadija Ibrahim, locked in as the agriculture expert within the Kenyan team at ICF. Yes, agricultural activities encroach the wetlands, the highest. Peter Kamau says, hi, there's a swamp in Kikuyu called Ondiri. There used to be cranes. Today, hakuna. Riparian landowners are being accused of encroachment, groups benefiting, but not the landowners. Why? Right?
So people are noticing.
Yeah, people are noticing that you used to have these birds here, and you're no longer seeing them. And there's a lot of what you're saying. It's encroachment, human activity, and so on and so forth in their breeding grounds. So first, Kabelo, please tell us about this bird. Explain to us this bird and its life.
Well, the bird is a very majestic bird, as people have known. And it lives with the people within the wetlands, and it is it's very much associated with the local communities. So they depend on the locals to live peacefully. This bird in many communities are very central to their cultural life, and if you go to where they the Rift Valley, for instance, every year we have cultural celebration it's called the it's called the Crane Festival. Okay. Every year people celebrate this crane, and it's a way of telling people about their culture, what this bird is about, how they view it, and every society has an animal totem.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this bird is shared a lot by many communities as a totem, where they associate with it a lot of good things, a lot of vibes, a lot of prosperity.
Right.
So the prosperity of the bird to them is the prosperity of the community.
Right.
The loss of the bird is the loss of the community's culture, the loss of community's prosperity, and the loss of community's environment. Okay. So people do associate a lot with the bird. Oh. The bird has a very unique feature, behavior. At the age of when they breed, they have about 2 or 4 eggs. Average 2, but sometimes 4. Okay. And they hatch when they hatch the eggs. When they lay the eggs, they take turns between the father and the mother in protecting those eggs. So the father will go fetch some food, come back.
They take turns.
And take turns. Then the mother would go, gender parity, that sort of thing. You see in them. When they hatch, they protect them together for about 1 year until they fledge. When they reach about a year, they are released to the other flock. They are forced to go to other flocks, so they're weaned off.
Okay.
So they take them to the where the other flocks are of their age mates, and they are left there.
Umekuwa mtu mzima sasa.
So that they can breed others. there's something very interesting that I want to share here on this show. You know, they usually lay inside water, you know, to protect people from interfering.
They lay the egg.
They lay the eggs inside water.
Okay.
They make a nest there, and they protect, you know, so that human beings don't interfere with it.
Right.
In Trans Nzoia, we saw something very interesting last year. For the first time, we saw the crane laying on the tree.
Oh.
They
Very
build
unusual.
a nest on a tree.
They built a nest on a shrub up.
Is it because there was no water?
No, because the threat down there is too much. So they're looking for a way of adopting. They're looking for a way of saving those eggs.
Wow.
So they have put up, you know, they're adapting to the threats.
How big are their brains? Because that's a lot of thinking for, you know, for a bird.
It's not yet. Let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
When they hatch,
Yeah.
they're supposed to, you know, they're supposed to walk with the chicks. Now, these chicks cannot fly. And you have laid them up in the tree. So how will you bring them down?
Oh,
How will they won't fly. They can't fly.
yeah.
So what we saw is they built a ladder from the nest to the ground.
Using what?
Yeah.
Using those things, the nest they made.
The twigs
The
and
twigs and the
So they made a
and the
vine.
shrubs. Yeah?
They made a vine
Yes.
coming down.
They made a ladder coming down so that those chicks can walk down. I mean, imagine that kind of intelligence.
These are very intelligent birds.
Yes, but that's called adaptation. You know, the threat
Right.
they're facing on the ground has
It's
made
huge.
them to adapt to that.
Okay.
You know, that's very interesting
It's
scenario. It's never been
fascinating.
found anywhere.
Back to this 1-year-old.
Yes.
So ametolewa kwa boma, ameambiwa wewe sasa ni mtu mkubwa, kwenda ishi na watu wengine. Then what does it do at the age of 1? Does it know already how to look for food, to
Yeah.
forage?
At that age, they can look for food. They can mix with the others. The idea is for them to adopt to the environment and to be mature.
Right.
So they are left to be mature. So they start even, you know, making friends with other species, other flocks,
cranes.
you know, and they even make friends. They even date. You know, they even start, you know, courtship. I was told by scientists who were studying it that those birds, they court for 3 years without mating. They court for 3 years.
3 years without mating.
Yes.
Every day, just let's go take a walk.
How do you
Yeah.
know they're
Let's-
courting? They're with
No,
the same partner.
they dance for each other. You know, they work together. They make you know, sounds for each other. You
With
know,
the same partner or
with the same
with-
partner. No. They don't go about
3 years of dancing with the same partner.
Yes, they
no
do
mating.
with the same partner.
Okay.
They're very loyal.
Okay.
They stick with one partner and they dance for that one partner for 3 years. Sio kama sisi.
Do they do, you know, the birds, usually the males,
Yeah.
are the ones that are loud
Yes.
and the boisterous, like think of like a peacock. It's the male peacock that does.
Yeah.
Is this the same for cranes?
Yeah.
They're
The
ones-
male one dances for the female one, and
Yeah.
you know, it pleases them, and you know, sings for them in their own ways, and then
Then the female identifies the one.
yes.
And
once
once-
they identify, they stick together.
Okay.
They stick together. And something very interesting in Osingishu the other day, a couple that was living in a wetland had 2 kids. Then somebody came and attacked them. A boy came and attacked them. And the father, in protecting the kid, was injured. And the child was killed.
Gosh.
Then we took the father, the injured father, to, there's a hospital for birds here in Nairobi. So we took them for, you know, rehabilitation and fixing of the mother was left alone there. The villagers were telling us that every 4 o'clock, other cranes would come. Every 4 o'clock, they would come and console with the mother alone in this. So they would come very religiously. 4 o'clock, You will see them flying in twos, you know, coming to say Pole and, you know, getting some consolation, you know.
And then they leave.
And then they leave. They come back tomorrow 4 o'clock.
As couples?
Yes, they come in twos.
Has anyone done a documentary on cranes? This is fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
They seem to be incredibly intelligent birds.
And the tragedy is we are losing that kind of, you know, species to this because of our recklessness.
Let's go into the fix now.
Yeah.
How do we, because from 35,000 in the 1980s to 8,000 today, that's a 70% decline, like you've said.
Yeah.
How do we get the numbers of cranes back up? Let me start with the human interference. Farmers, you've said, they're growing their wheat, they see a pest coming to eat their wheat.
Yeah.
It's very hard to tell them not to poison something that is essentially eating their livelihood as well.
Well, we have tried several options of trying to save the animals. Bottom line is people-led. It must be, whatever action you take must be inside the people. You know, you cannot just do something outside and then expect people to know. People must be at the core of this protection and understand those people first and foremost. Those people have also issues, land issues, food security issues. How do they, because they're going to the wetlands because they have no water elsewhere. What we do is we try to help access water outside the wetlands, you know, so that we have spring protection outside and people getting water, not trafficking to the wetlands, but getting water from near them. Way of keeping them away from the disturbance at the wetlands. People are going there for farming. How do we ensure that people have skills or opportunities to farm outside this wetland? So in many places, what we have done is to work with the people to train them on climate, what we call climate smart agriculture, where people can use a small piece of land but produce maximum production, not only for consumption, but even some for economic, you know, gain. So we do invest in that. We also work with the communities to enrich, you know, to protect the wetlands through what we call the buffer zone, you know, riparian, you know, 30 meters around the wetland. We plant trees that are fruits, you know, that are indigenous. You know, we cut down the eucalyptus trees, which are common in these areas because the eucalyptus, you know, they
seep a lot of water. Oh, they're indigenous to those areas.
Yes.
But then they seep up a lot of the water. They
seep up a lot of water. So we cut down those and then we replace them with fruit trees, you know, with other trees that are friendly, so that we protect that. But the biggest thing is awareness of the communities. You know, how do we create awareness? The impact of loss of wetlands. Do people know? Do people appreciate? Or why would people think that this is a wasteland instead of protecting it?
It's idle land.
So it's an idle land. So it has to be recovered, you know, for construction. So these are the things that we need to do. We have a lot of...
I want to ask a question because you've talked about, you know, that community awareness and enhancement of the thought. So I don't know whether you had got it there or you're still talking about wetlands, and then you come into the feeding, where because the human wildlife conflict, the human crane conflict, there's the conflict in people encroaching into the wetland. There's the conflict of the cranes invading our farms.
That's true. That's true.
So how do we ensure that the crane does not invade people's farms?
Yeah, I think that's
or how do we ensure that we can feed the cranes without them?
It's something that we're struggling to see how we can go about it. A lot of farmers, particularly the large farmers, see them as a pest, as you say, and some of them even poison them so that they don't come there. But we're looking at different solutions by engaging these farmers, talking to these farmers, and what we're trying to establish with them is there a possibility of doing a small section of their farm as a sacrificial, you know, farm, where they can plant things so that the cranes can eat those ones instead of coming to their farms. And that's a very small fraction of their farming that it's a sacrifice they can make. So is it possible to incentivize them?
Right.
How would that work?
What would be the incentive? Yeah.
Yeah.
What would the incentive be? Sorry.
The incentive is this bird is a tourist attraction bird first also.
True.
It's a bird that is loved by the communities.
Yeah.
So by keeping them in your farm, it's a way of nature being as it is. So just have them it's aesthetic, keeping them there. But
I think farmers will go for that one.
yeah, but
It has maybe a monetary incentive of some sort. I don't know how.
I
But
don't think they require monetary, because these are large farmers. They're well off.
Okay.
They're
So,
huge
so
estates.
small-scale farmers are not poisoning the birds, or
No.
Okay.
Generally, it's
it's the large ones.
the large farms which is a threat more than the small farms. The small farms, what they do is they make small fences so that the birds are not even attracted there. When you make a fence,
You remove the runway.
yeah, you reduce the runway, so they can't even
fly in and out.
there. So
Okay.
that's what they do.
Straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the other hand, how will the crane know that is my dedicated garden and this is the no-go zone? I mean, it's a very large farm.
There are scientific things or tools. Like there is a tape that is usually done to protect some they're going. So there are tapes which are used.
So the commercial
to
side
scare them
use the
away,
tape.
to scare them away, or to make what the small farmers are doing,
Fencing.
fencing off, using tapes.
Okay.
So it can be protected, but something that we need to discuss with the large farmers and see how they can help also this problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So small farmer, it's the human activity around the swamp.
Yes.
Encroaching into the swamp.
Yes.
The daily commute into the swamp to fetch water, and doing that, you're then also chasing away the bird from its breeding grounds.
Yeah.
They start looking for where to nest for their eggs. Yeah. Big farmer is patia crane shamba yake kidogo, pandia yeye kitu kule.
Acha kule huko.
Okay. On the other end, the wetlands themselves.
Yes.
What do we need to be doing to make sure that our wetlands are not disappearing?
We have, this country has a lot of policies and a lot of laws that protect wetlands.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the practice is the enforcement is what is lacking. So one of the things to do is to have a multi-agency sort of approach, because there are many, KWS, Water Act is there, the Ministry of Environment, NEMA, all these institutions all these institutions have a mandate to protect
Wetlands.
the wetlands. But we need to harmonize, we need to synchronize all those pockets of laws and policies that are there, so that we work as a team together, and we have a plan for each of the wetlands, a management plan because it's not only the cranes, there are many biodiversity, species which are there. So how do we protect all of them? And so it is very important that we work together as a team. Not one organization, not one institution, not government alone, but we need to work together with a number of stakeholders on this. That's what we are doing by collaborating with many stakeholders.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, who is the central last point of accountability? For example, if 5 years ago Ewasonyiro was a full-on permanent river, and now it's semi-permanent, it's seasonal, who do we go? Whose door do we knock and say you're not doing your job?
Many doors. I don't think there is one door.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah, there are many doors to knock. There's a water, ministry.
Yes.
That needs to protect this. There's an environment. because part of the reason why it disappeared is because of forest disappearance. There's agriculture because people are, insensitive agricultural approach, that does not care about environment, There are many things. So that's why we cannot blame one office or one government or one institution. We need to do it as a collective effort to protect the environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kabelo, I see you're wearing a shirt here and it's written International Crane Foundation. I assume that this is people that you work with.
Yes.
International Crane Foundation. I like cranes, right?
Yeah.
So what is that? Is it a government agency? Is it a community agency? What is it?
International Crane Foundation is an international organization that was started in the US around 1970s. And it was started by gentlemen who had passion for the crane, to protect the crane. We work now in Africa, in many countries, more than 50 countries in the world, in Asia, in Southern America, Africa. We are in South Africa, Zambia, Uganda, Rwanda. In Kenya, we have been operating for many years, but under a different arrangement with the local organization called Kanko. But last year, we registered International Crane Foundation in Kenya. So it is going to operate in Kenya now as an independent organization. We are going to launch our office today. So the International Crane Foundation offices will be launched formally today by the Minister for Environment and Climate Change and Forestry, Dr. Baraza, this afternoon. So we will have a launch.
So I get it that you're working in collaboration with the government. I'm asking that question because you talked about the multi-agency collaboration.
Yes.
With various stakeholders.
Yes.
Now, like Mariam was saying, that because you are talking about very many cooks around this pot, you're likely to see nobody actually holding the ball or carrying the ball forward, right? So an organization such as yours, which is now dedicated to cranes, what role do you see yourselves playing in ensuring that all these organizations then work in concert for the betterment of the crane? KWS is dealing with all the species of animals in Kenya. NEMA is dealing with environment from top to bottom.
From coast to,
Water Resources Authority, Water Resources Users Associations, Ministry, they're doing very many things. How do you actually bring them together to the table to get them to support you in the work that
a very important question, Eric. And our role as, because our focus is on the crane and on the wetlands, what we are trying to discuss with a number of stakeholders, including NEMA and KWS and so forth, is we identify each wetland and see, can we have a lead organization? So can we actually take a lead, say in protection of Kingwal, wetland in Nandi County.
Right.
So when we take a lead, what does it mean? It means that we have support from the government because we don't have mandate to enforce things.
You can only do advocacy.
Yes. Then those organizations with mandate like NEMA can give us that, backing and say, okay, let's have a plan. Let's bring together all these people are working around this wetland and have one plan.
Right.
One plan that will be led by International Crane Foundation. The role of International Crane Foundation is to ensure that everybody does their bit and they're consolidated.
One question that I'm going to ask on that, if I was sitting as a minister.
Yes.
You said that you've been working in this country under whatever arrangement for a number of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Despite your presence, we have seen a drop in the population of the cranes.
Yes.
Right? Despite your presence, we are still seeing encroachment of the wetlands. So why you?
Right.
If you're not just coming here to, gatekeep and be the ones who want to make money out of this crane story.
Yeah, I mean, it can be anybody else. It's not necessarily only us, but we have that mandate from our donors, from our passion. Our mission is focused on protection of the crane and its habitat.
Right.
So there are not many organizations that has that focus in the world or even in this country. So that gives us the leverage to say, look, we can lead this protection of this bird and this wetland because that is our mandate.
But just like all other NGOs, that's just as long as you have donor money coming in.
Yeah.
The day your donors wake up and decide, you know what, we've changed our focus,
Yes.
then you go, then you leave all these communities that you've been working with
Yeah.
high and
You know,
dry.
that's the challenge of many projects. You know, it needs money. So without money, you cannot do much. You know, that's the reality. So
Let me ask for, is there a success scenario from somewhere in the world where interventions by, companies, NGOs like yours actually helped to restore crane populations?
you see, in 2019, we had a census of cranes. In 2023, we had a census, another census. In 2019, the figures are estimated at 7,000. In 2023, they are now estimated at 8,000. We're going to do another census either this year or next year.
Right.
So you see, there's this marginal, what we have managed to do is we have not stopped
the decline.
The decline.
No, we have stopped the decline. We have stabilized the numbers. We have stabilized the numbers. That's a success story. Because if the trend has been 70% loss, then it would have been less than what we have today. So that in itself is a success. Stabilization of the numbers first and foremost. And that's what we have managed to do, I think, in our interventions.
And also, to be fair, I think reviving a species it's a long-term.
It's a long-term thing.
Yeah, it's a long-term thing. The numbers take a while, and it needs concerted effort. So I'm hoping that the effort continues. Yeah, we've seen species go into extinction all the time, but hopefully that will not be the case for the crane. Thank you so much, Adan.
The most dangerous thing is doing nothing about it.
Yes.
Indeed. Asante sana. It's coming to 8 a.m. Adan Kabelo, conservationist from the International Crane Foundation, has been our guest. In the next hour, we talk about electricity supply, distribution, cost, and all with engineer Dr. Siror, who is the MD and CEO. Joseph Siror, MD, CEO of Kenya Power. Keep it here for that.